In 1993, the NFL landscape could have been dramatically altered if the Pittsburgh Steelers had traded for legendary quarterback Joe Montana. Montana, a four-time Super Bowl champion with the San Francisco 49ers, was nearing the end of his career but still had elite skills. At the same time, the Steelers, one of the NFL's most storied franchises, were looking for stability at the quarterback position. This scenario offers an intriguing what-if in football history, with potential impacts not only on the Steelers' trajectory, but also on the legacies of both Montana and the franchise itself. By 1993, Joe Montana's future with the 49ers was uncertain. He had missed nearly 2 full seasons due to injuries, allowing backup Steve Young to shine and eventually take over the starting role. Montana still believed he had more to give, and the 49ers were faced with a difficult decision. Stick with the younger, healthier, and reigning MVP Young, or return to their aging icon. Ultimately, Montana was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs, where he enjoyed a brief but successful stint, leading them to the AFC Championship game in his first season. At the same time, the Pittsburgh Steelers were coming off a season where they had finished with an 11-5 record but lacked a true franchise quarterback. Under head coach Bill Cowher, the Steelers had a dominant defense and a strong running game, but their quarterback situation, led by Neil O'Donnell, wasn't on par with the league's elite. If the Steelers had traded for Montana in 1993, the immediate effect would have been electrifying. Montana's championship pedigree and poise under pressure would have meshed well with Cowher's hard-nosed, defense-first philosophy. The Steelers already had the pieces in place: a top-tier defense led by Rod Woodson and Greg Lloyd, a power running game featuring Barry Foster, and one of the best offensive lines in the league. Montana could have been the missing piece. Plus, he's already from Pittsburgh. In 1993, the AFC was wide open, and the Steelers were poised to make a deep playoff run with the right quarterback. Adding Montana, even in the twilight of his career, could have propelled them to Super Bowl contention. Montana had the experience and leadership to elevate Pittsburgh's offense and thrive in pressure-packed situations, which O'Donnell struggled with in later years. Had Montana joined the Steelers, several outcomes might have been altered in NFL history. First, Montana's presence in Pittsburgh could have changed the balance of power in the AFC. In reality, the Buffalo Bills dominated the AFC in the early 1990s, reaching 4 consecutive Super Bowls from 1990 to 1993. But Montana's Steelers would have been formidable challengers. The Bills, particularly vulnerable against strong defensive teams, might have faced a different playoff fate if they had run into a Montana-led Pittsburgh squad. Montana's hypothetical success in Pittsburgh could have also impacted the legacy of Bill Cowher. Though Cowher eventually led the Steelers to a Super Bowl victory in 2006, it took 14 years to do so. With Montana, Cowher might have secured his first championship much earlier, possibly cementing him as an elite coach during the 1990s. A Super Bowl victory in this alternate timeline could have also altered the careers of several players, including Rod Woodson, who eventually left the Steelers in 1997, and Neil O'Donnell, whose infamous interceptions in Super Bowl 30 might never have occurred. Trading for Montana would also have had profound effects on his legacy. While his time with the Chiefs was successful, leading the Steelers, one of the NFL's most iconic franchises, to a Super Bowl might have added a new dimension to his already storied career. Montana might be remembered not just as the face of the 49ers dynasty, but as a quarterback who succeeded in both the NFC and AFC, further solidifying his status as one of the all-time greats. It could have been similar to Tom Brady winning all those Super Bowls with the New England Patriots and then winning one with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just to rub it in. Moreover, a Pittsburgh stint might have offered a better chance at another Super Bowl ring for Montana, something he was unable to achieve with Kansas City. Assuming Montana's run with the Steelers lasted for only a couple of seasons, as it did in Kansas City, Pittsburgh would still have had to address their long-term quarterback situation. Neil O'Donnell, the Steelers' starting quarterback before Montana's hypothetical arrival, might have been traded or retained as a backup. Either way, Montana's brief tenure in Pittsburgh would have brought the Steelers more time to develop a young quarterback for the future. Montana's success with the Steelers could also have altered how Pittsburgh approached drafting or developing future quarterbacks. The Steelers eventually drafted Ben Roethlisberger in 2004, leading them to multiple Super Bowl victories. In this alternate reality, the team's quarterback search in the mid-1990s could have unfolded differently, potentially altering their path to championship success under Roethlisberger. The prospect of Joe Montana joining the Pittsburgh Steelers in '93 offers a fascinating what-if in football history. His leadership and skill could have transformed the Steelers into immediate Super Bowl contenders and reshaped the careers of many players and coaches involved. While we'll never know for sure how Montana and Black and Gold might have played out, the speculation invites questions about how one of the most iconic quarterbacks in NFL history could have altered the fortunes of another legendary franchise. It's a reminder of how a single trade can ripple across the league and potentially change the course of history.